Hello, guys, welcome to yet another episode from TechFlix. So, you might have seen my previous videos. I've talked about CI/CD and some of the other technologies which are available in DevOps. So, today, what I'm going to talk about is a salary negotiation. So, recently, I've switched to a new company. I was working in a service company and I've recently switched to a product company. And during the time that I was looking for jobs, I had come across multiple offers. I got several offers from different companies. So I would like to share some experiences and how you could do better with salary negotiation. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. So let me split this part into two things. Uh, what are the do's and what are the don'ts that you have to do while doing salary negotiation. So why are you doing this? Okay. So if you don't actually ask for this thing, you won't actually get it because most of the HRs or the talent acquisition groups in various company, they're given a budget and and they are expected to hire people even at the lowest margin of their budgets itself. So even if the people, if the students or the interviewees who are actually looking for the job change, and once they are offered, if they are not asking for more money or something like that, then obviously they are losing out. And HRs do expect the students or the people to actually ask for more money. Only then they are going to willing to be given. But things are much different in the product companies. But mostly in the service companies, only once you ask for the extra money, only they will give you extra compensation for that thing. So the another reason for this is that you it will actually establish your worth in the organization. So when you are actually going to work for an organization, they are assuming that you know your worth or you are asking for the money that and that actually signifies your value in the organization that you're going to join. So the HRs actually look for people at least during the last round in the salary negotiation round, where you are expected to ask for the amount that you feel or based on your research that you feel that you should be getting. So all over that, that is the part for why. So let's talk about what are the do's and don'ts. Starting with the don'ts, in the first phase, when the interviewer or the recruiter actually contacts you, you should never tell the actual figure, even if they ask for it. So you should at the that's there is a three rules applicable in that. So the first thing is that you can probably say that depending on the industry standards or the organization standards or how much you actually give for a similar competency based employee in the organization, you can probably ask for that kind of compensation instead of actually saying the range. But there are certain recruiters who will go and ask you, tell us what is the amount in your mind. So usually a lot of interviewees actually make a mistake that they will actually tell a number, and probably sometimes they will be very high in the value, or probably that will be much less than they could actually get. Don't make this mistake. Don't say the actual amount in your mind. So what you have to do is, like, you can say a range. For example, for a senior software engineer or something with maybe 3+ years of experience, you can tell a range like 7 LPA to 10 to 12 LPA, depending on your experience and the skill in the domain. So that's it for that. So you have to tell a range at maximum possible way. Okay. So you can say in a broad range also. You can say 7 to 11 or 7 to 12, or whatever range that comes in your mind after your basic research that you have done for that particular company. If you don't get time, just say a range in your mind, don't say an actual amount. The problem with that is that sometimes if you go overboard and say that you want 13 lpa for a 3-year experienced person, and if that company doesn't have that kind of budget, or they think that you are actually overestimating yourself, probably it can backfire, and that they might not even consider interviewing you, they might not even shortlist you for the next rounds. And if you say much lower value, then they will take it for granted, and they might not actually give much more than that, even if you qualify for the interviews and pass all the rounds. So that is one of the don'ts. So never say much higher value or a lower value. And you can always ask for more information on what is the salary range that they provide for a particular employee, to make an informed decision. Okay. Other than that, regarding the do's that you have to do, right? The in the do's, you should ask. You can always expect there will be a round towards the end after the interviews, where you will be formally asked to make the amount tell the amount that you have in mind. Or some recruiters usually go and say that, for example, if it's a product company, they will actually have a product mind in figure, and a figure in mind, and probably based on that only they will be able to give you. They will have probably a budget issue, or probably it is more of a parity based comparison. So for example, what is this parity comparison? It means that they will assess your competency with a person, with an employee who is already present in that company, and what that person is actually earning right now, and they will put you in that range. So that is what they usually do in product companies. But for service companies, usually it starts with a percentage hike. Probably it starts with 30 percentage, and it can go even towards 200 percentage depending on your skill sets. So that is something that you have to keep in mind. So do your basic research, check in Glassdoor or LinkedIn, and understand what is the kind of salary range offered for your experience, for your skill sets, and for that particular company, and for that particular profile that you are applying for. So that actually helps you get a basic picture of how things are. And other than that, I'll talk about, see, don't argue with the recruiters, with the recruiters saying that you want this kind of amount, this much amount and all. So never do that kind of thing. That will actually backfire, and they might not even consider you for that, because all these companies have a culture, have a proper employee policy. So they are trying their best to give you the best possible figure in their in their hand. Apart from that, there is also a notion that or there are various other figures also apart from the CTC, right? So even in the CTC itself, they might not actually like, you need to understand what is the insurance amount that they are going to offer you, and if that amount comes from the CTC or not. You can ask how much amount is deducted from the PF. Usually it is 8%, and how much is the variable pay in that. Sometimes it ranges from 8% to 12%. So that also matters, because your fixed pay will be there, and in that fixed pay there will be a basic pay amount, and how much amount is allowances. And you can also ask for what are the flexible allowances available in that. For example, there will be allowances like internet expenses, there will be house rent allowance, there will be leave travel allowance. So all these allowances actually will help you with the tax exemptions and tax deductions. So all these things you will have to know beforehand, before joining the company, even before getting the offer letter, because once they release the offer letter, it will be mostly solid, and you will not be able to probably negotiate further. So during the final discussion itself, you should make all these points clear with the HR. Also, you need to understand, is there any other perks apart from this compensation. Some companies offer something like a superannuation. It means that 15% of your basic salary apart from this ETC, they will take it, and probably they will deposit in a saving scheme, in an investment scheme, like ICICI Prudential or HDFC schemes. So based on that, it can actually The main thing from the recruiters is that they can hire a quality resource for a lesser package, and it is actually a win for the recruiter and for the company. And the other thing is that finding a good resource is actually a very challenging task. Also, you need the thing is that don't actually ask for the unrealistic figures or showing the poor attitude while the negotiating time itself, and don't ask and don't talk about your financial commitments, your poor status or something like that. You don't say stat stories. It is not going to help you during the recruitment stage. And as I told, do not get into a fight and all, and don't look at the total package also, because you need to understand the work-life balance, all those things and all in that particular company. And the other thing is that when we talk about the do's, you need to understand what is your leverage. If you have already a company different offers with you, you can always talk about that offers in hand and what those companies are actually offering you. No company is actually going to ask you for proofs, but even then also don't lie at this stage, because they might be able to understand if you're lying or not. The other thing is that you should know that you are basically a backup candidate, and there will be multiple candidates in line for same role. So they will actually make assumption that probably if you are showing a bad attitude or if you are asking too much of money, they might reject you and probably take a different candidate in line. And you need to take your time and while you're negotiating time, and you need to schedule your negotiation wisely. You need to take time and talk in such a way that you know that you have a basic picture in mind about that company, and you need to reiterate that you are actually looking to join the company, and probably you consider this company more than your existing offers, and say that you don't want the compensation or the CTC to be a hurdle in choosing this company, because obviously CTC is also a bigger component, right? So that is one of the most important thing that you need to understand. The other thing is that you need to make a very make the recruiter feel it's a win that you are being taken into that company. So it's that is also very important. So thank you guys, and I expect that everyone get a really great job during this COVID times and probably able to switch into much awesome companies, and get able to negotiate in such a great way, and get the best CTC for your skill sets. Thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe for more exciting content related to job preparation and salary negotiation. And I'll also be doing certain videos regarding the Naukri profile optimization and the LinkedIn optimization based on my learnings, and how I was able to crack this new product company job. Thank you. Have a nice day.